Good morning, Fellowship Hi-Crest. It is my pleasure to be with you this morning with your Jumpstart. And so I'll be coming from 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verses 26 through 40. Okay? So this is Paul speaking to the Corinthians. Well, my brothers and sisters, let's summarize. When you meet together, one will sing, another will teach, another will tell some special revelation God has given, one will speak in tongues, and another will interpret what is said. But everything that is done must strengthen all of you. No more than 2 or 3 should speak in tongues. They must speak one at a time, and someone must interpret what they say. But if no one is present who can interpret, they must be silent in your church meeting and speak in tongues to God privately. Let 2 or 3 people prophesy, and let the others evaluate what is said. But if someone is prophesying and another person receives a revelation from the Lord, the one who is speaking must stop. In this way, all who prophesy will have a turn to speak, one after the other, so that everyone will learn to be encouraged. Remember that people who prophesy are in control of their spirit and can take turns. For God is not a God of disorder, but of peace, as in all the meetings of God's holy people. Women should be silent during the church meetings. It's not proper for them to speak. They should be submissive, just as the law says. If they have any questions, they should ask their husbands at home, for it is improper for women to speak in church meetings. Or do you think God's word originated with you, Corinthians? Are you the only ones to whom it was given? If you claim to be a prophet or think you are spiritual, you should recognize that what I am saying is a command from the Lord himself. But if you do not recognize this, you yourself will not be recognized. So my dear brothers and sisters, be eager to prophesy, and don't forbid speaking in tongues, but be sure that everything is done properly and in order. And this is God's word. So the first thing that is really important to understand is that everything that we read from the Bible has to be done in context of who is speaking, who they are speaking to, and where it is happening. Why is it happening? So Paul is speaking to the Corinthians. And just a little background about the Church of Corinth. Basically, they were an area, in Corinth, there was an area where it was full of idolatry. They lived a life of pleasure, and there was a lot of different religions, and there was a lot of idolatry, and there was a lot of things going on that were immoral. So when Paul is talking in this particular area, he's saying, hey, to the new believers, our God is a God of order. I know this is not something you're used to, but our God is a God of order. And so, although, yes, there are going to be people who can speak in tongues, yes, there's going to be some of you who prophesy, there are going to be some who teach, there are going to be some who preach, there are going to be some who sing, but we don't do it all at once. For God is a God of order. So if you have someone speaking in tongues, then we need to have somebody who can also interpret this. If you have somebody who is prophesying, but another person has a revelation from God, they don't speak at the same time. In fact, they want to go ahead and stop so that the other can go ahead and speak. And so in this, I think this is really a direct, when I read this and I'm meditating on it, knowing that our God has an order to everything and that he is not of chaos. And right now in our world, it feels like sometimes we are in complete chaos. But knowing that our God is not. He is a God of true peace. We are not peacekeepers, but we are peacemakers, just as he is a God of peace, which means that even in the world of chaos that we live in, with everything going on with the pandemic, with every day people are dying, every day people are getting sick, people are losing their homes and their jobs, but yet we still have and can lean on our Father, who is a God of peace and order. So brothers and sisters, I I pray today, my prayer for you guys today is that as you are reading in context for the word, that it is opened up to you and that you can see the order that God can bring in our lives through his word, through his spirit, through his love. And I hope that and pray that that can be fallen upon you as well. So I hope you guys have a blessed day.